Welcome to the Get Bit Podcast, guys. If you are a blurred or nerd, if you have a fandom, as I've messed up on the intro, you are still welcome here, even though we messed up on the intro. I'm your host, the most Black Spartan, of course, the man on my left, your right, show guy Joe. Sir, how you doing this evening?
Tired.
Well, you've had quite the trip, to say the least. But yes, together we are the Give It Podcast, guys. And yes, even though we are a little bit older, we do try to watch our language, but sometimes words do fly. At the same time, guys, that they may be things that might be shown tonight, and I'm pretty sure one of the trailers will be that way, that might be too young for viewers. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So really quickly, Joe, because before we get to what we think is hopefully going to be the next great Marvel thing. Sir, you have been gone last week just because you have been in New York for a while. Would you like to tell people what you were doing in New York outside of, various eateries and things of that nature?
Ghostbusting. Lots of ghostbusting. I just got back from a Ghostbuster theater premiere over in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. And still making the rounds.
I was at the red carpet premiere in New York with movie stars.
Nice. And yes, the man is still making his rounds here in Tennessee. But yes, if you're under a rock, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is out to watch. Many of our friends and colleagues are definitely watching it. Joe has already seen it. And Joe, you really quickly want to give your impression of the movie that I know you've probably you've seen about 3 times by now?
I've seen it twice. I'll probably see it tomorrow night for a 3rd time. The movie is worth seeing. The movie critics, as usual, are panning it. As always, I recommend this to everybody. Don't go with the critic engagement. Go with the user engagement. Fans will always steer you right. Critics are paid to steer you wrong.
Amen to that. But yes, Frozen Empire is definitely out now. Hopefully, me and my family will get to see it because, again, Afterlife was great. I can only imagine that Frozen Empire is just going to be just as great. But again, if you have seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, let us know in the comments what you think. If you liked it, please try to remain as spoiler-free as humanly possible just because it is brand new. People are still going to get it. People still have lives. So let's be respectful, guys, in the comments. But we have to talk about, because we worried about
one of the most unwholesome scenes in the entire franchise.
Say it one more time.
Said it has one of the most unwholesome scenes in the entire movie, in the entire franchise.
Oh, wholesome. Do we want to start with X-Men or do we want to go straight to Marvel? Which route are we going? Because
it's up to you.
Because I have to talk
for the ride.
Gotcha. Well, I have to talk about Marvel 1943 just because Unreal did do their demonstration of tech, if you will. But what we did not expect within this stream was to actually see the reveal of a game that, we haven't really heard of a lot since Summer of Games, I want to say. Summer of Games may have hinted at this, even showed screenshots of this. But we actually now have a trailer for this. But what are you going to say, Joe?
So, yeah, we're getting ready to show the trailer. Please keep in mind, this is an actual video game. The biggest issue I have with this trailer is there is no actual gameplay footage. So this makes it look like this is a new Marvel animated film. This is an actual video game.
But it is playing beautifully on Unreal Engine. So, for all those that haven't seen it, this is basically Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra.
They're combing the streets, searching house to house.
If they arrest you two, they will take you to their headquarters, and you will not return.
I'm more concerned with the 6-foot cat man who's got claws that can cut through vibranium alloy. By my count, that makes 2 super soldiers loose in Paris.
3, counting you.
And that's 2 too many.
Be there before the sun rises. Before the Germans, before that American. The Eye of Force has been found.
Please, just stick to the rooftops. Be careful, stand Wasami.
When am I not?
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may encounter some obstacles.
That won't be a problem. Our cat friend is definitely here too. By the look of things, he's not very far ahead.
The American boy is right on your heels.
Who the hell are you?
If you wanted us dead, we'd be dead. So what do you want?
Answers.
That's far enough!
Stay out of my way!
Stand aside!
I do not take orders from anyone!
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
All right, guys, and that was the trailer for Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra. As we do have others that are joining us, Lady Mandalore and Safari. How you guys doing?
Hi. How you doing?
As Kira has already started on the drinking.
Skull.
I'm not even mad. So anyway, that again, as Joe pointed out, guys, and we need to point this out very heavily. This was a tech demo. For all those that don't know, this was actually what Unreal was showing during the demonstration. What's showing on the Unreal 5 engine, which is the next generation Unreal video game engine that they're on. They are going to be behind what is Marvel 1943. As you see, the only thing, as Joe pointed out, no gameplay. Carrie Payton obviously will be playing. We're assuming T'Chaka's father, Zuri. We don't know that because they haven't said it. But because it's 1943, it does put you in that area of, well, it has to be him, we hope. And of course, Captain America, his usual self. Again, since it's 1943, this kind of puts it right before that little strange area if you're going by the MCU. But round table, even though it's a tech demo, what do we think? Are we excited for this? Are we hopeful for this? Or are we getting another Marvel's Avengers to where we're going to be disappointed?
Well, we don't have to say, you idiots, we've captured their stunt doubles with this one.
That is
true. I'm all for it. I'm going to enjoy it.
I mean, I've been waiting for an update because they brought this up along with like the announcement when they were developing the Wolverine game. That was years ago. So I'm glad we're finally getting something. Also, Cyborg is now the Black Panther.
I'm not against it. I'm kind of rooting for Carrie Payton. But what are you gonna say, Kira? That I see your wheels turning.
No, it's very pretty. It's gorgeous. I mean, what do you want to say? It's gorgeous. I trust nothing until I have the controller in my hands, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. We all want to see gameplay, of course. Let's be honest. They always want to show the fight between who will win between Cap and Black Panther. I'm like, that's a landslide. I'm just saying.
Snipes, always bet on Black.
I'm just saying. As much as I'm a Cap fan, I'm sorry. Even with the vibranium, he's still hard to take down. So just saying. But anyway, not gonna say that again. We're gonna get more information about that as it looks like it will be coming out very soon in 2025. Beyond that, I do got to ask another before we get to the Acolyte, because I want to ask Kira's, which I'm so glad you're here, because you being the Star Wars person will be able to answer some questions that I have. But really quickly, from the Disney Plus side of things, for all those that don't know about Macross, Macross is a very, very nostalgic, very classic anime that I did not see coming to Disney Plus. However, we do. You say, Joe, go and got it. You got it.
Okay, so we got some clarification here. So Macross is coming to Disney Plus in Japan. It is
Okay.
not coming to US Disney Plus. Everyone was getting that very, very confused at first. And a lot of people were pointing out it's coming to Disney Plus in Japan, which means there's a chance it will come to Hulu in the US if what's it called? People that own Robotech move out of their own way and make money.
So it always comes down to money. It always
By
always
the way,
comes down to
your
money.
New York was fantastic. I'm sorry I couldn't get a hold of you.
I know. I heard you were here, but I was like, if you're in New York, you already have an entire plan set up.
Yeah, no, it was a whirlwind.
Oh
yeah. No,
Joe, Joe was practically.
I'm glad
everywhere.
you were here. I'm glad you were safe.
But yes, but Macros
I had
again.
Wonderful time.
I'm sorry. Good. No, what you say, Joe? I'm sorry to read that job.
No, just telling Kira, I had a wonderful time.
Lovely.
He even found it. He
Good
even
old
found an
Macross.
E3. No, seriously about Macross though. Yes, Joe did beat me to the point on this that a lot of people are thinking that it's going to be coming to the Western side of Disney Plus, unless you have a VPN, which again we're not suggesting it, but there's routes. That's all I'm saying. There's routes. How you choose to take those routes are upon you, but it's not upon. Hey, I'm just saying. But anyway, like Joe's.
I so can't wait for people to discover Macross 7. Oh,
that's going to be
Macross
interesting.
7.
It is going to be interesting for
Not
Macross
to mention
7.
the poorly named Pink Pecker Squadron.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone until other people can watch it because it's gonna be an inside joke. That's why Tafari's laughing right now. Tafari's laughing because he knows. But again, it's an inside joke. We're gonna hope money wins, so you guys will be in on it. But unless you don't want to, VPN your way over to Disney Plus. You'll be able to watch it. That being said, Star Wars: The Acolyte, because again, Filoni just loves to surprise us. Decided to show us a new trailer for The Acolyte. And after this trailer, Kira, I got questions.
Yes.
Close your eyes. Your eyes can deceive you. We must not trust them. Tell me what comes into your mind.
Life. Balance. I see fire.
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense.
What happened?
I sensed darkness.
This isn't about good or bad. This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
What is that?
All right, guys. As you can see, that was the trailer for The Acolyte that will be on Disney Plus in the 2-episode premiere very soon. Kira, because you, to me, are probably the most foremost person I can talk to when it comes to Star Wars and be able to explain it very thoroughly.
Saber in hand, ready to answer all questions.
So, for all those that don't know about The Acolyte, would you be able to explain it to the crowd?
Honestly, there isn't a lot of information. Star Wars, how can we mine for gold this time? I mean, you do it right, and it seems like Mr. Filoni and company is doing it right. So, The Acolyte takes place, and takes place about 100 years before any of the Luke and company Star Wars Jesus stuff happens. So this is the High Republic. Very popular amongst the Star Wars community. It's one of the I want to say it's one of the most written about as far as legends or canon books that are out there in the universe. People have been waiting for this type of story for a very long time. It goes into detail of this is basically like a murder mystery kind of thing with origin stories in a sense too. Basically there is a Sith out there taking out Jedi. Nobody understands why. Nobody knows how they're getting this information. That's basically the story. At the moment, you have, and obviously there are two. So you have the one that's the teacher. Sorry, I'm a little bit drunk. You have the teacher, and then you have the apprentice, and you have the master. So who among them is the master? And
do we have a timeline for Darth Plagueis the Wise, or am I getting my hopes up?
If Darth Plagueis the Wise is in this, I'm down.
He's before this.
Oh,
Darth Plagueis is before this.
Damn.
I'm very confident that he's before this. I've heard the name Bane possibly be thrown around. I'm trying to think of how old oh Lord, the senator, the emperor he's kind of old, so you might have his family in the mix of all of this because they were definitely a powerful family back then. That's how he rose to power. So I would be, I think this is a good setup, which would also, if they are involved in this, would lead us into the fuckery that was the last three movies.
Nice.
Which I think they're actively trying to bring all this stuff together. Let me know when I can stop talking because I can keep
going. No, you're good. Because the reason why I know because your Star Wars knowledge is way more than mine. And all I saw was a Sith messing up Jedi. That already had my attention off the bat. And the fight.
That's all you need to know.
A lot of hand-to-hand combat. That's what got that, and the bloody poster, which you don't get in a place where people get dismembered a lot. You don't get a lot of blood in Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean,
fire sticks, baby. That's cauterize the wound immediately.
Yep. So again, with the Acolyte, that's coming out June the 4th on a 2-episode premiere for again Disney Plus because Filoni, we trust it. We know just like we trust in Gunn, we trust in Filoni. Filoni at this point has done no wrong, so we are going to rock with that. But while the iron is hot, because we have to talk about this because. The reason why we have to talk about this is because there's a certain person out there, Demetrius, who is right now waving the Cyclops flag. And right
before we do, just because I'm watching Bad Batch, I'm the baby of the group. Is there a reason we can't say the word midichlorian anymore?
No, they just
yes, because sort of Dragon Ball Z power level. They attempted Dragon Ball Z power levels in the Phantom Menace, and they used instead of power level midichlorians. So to avoid a Dragon Ball Z power level argument going forward, they just dumped the midichlorian things.
Interesting.
No, well, they changed the name.
They're using it. They're using it in Bad Batch, but they keep saying they won't say the word midichlorian. They keep saying M count, and I'm just like, why?
That's to make that son of the Emperor, which. Honestly,
that's what everyone's been saying. I didn't know if there was like a history with the word. I didn't know.
So we're abbreviating everything now. Instead of saying midichlorians, I was going to M counts. I was like,
they said it a lot the last like 3 episodes, and I'm like, why are we just ducking the word midichlorian like so hard?
I think there's another reason. I think it also has to deal with more so the canon versus legend aspect of everything. They still don't want to pay the people that did the Legends books, basically the books they don't consider canon. So if they use anything from that universe, those universes, well, then how did you get them? Who inspired you to say these words? Because you didn't put them in any of the movies. So where is it coming from? So I think it's more to deal with that, more so than them worried about power. You can do whatever. You can do whatever with the power level. They can write whatever they want. It would probably make things a lot easier to explain if they did do it, but
yeah,
here we are.
Also, Tafari, I meant to say yes. The Killmonger haircut somehow made the Acolyte. I don't know how. Why did the one Jedi have to have the Killmonger haircut? It's almost as if it has to be in contract now. But I just want to point that out. But
I mean,
anyway,
technically, it's sorry. Go ahead.
No. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say technically it's in the past, so he could be the originator of the Killmonger haircut.
So we have him to blame for this?
Yes. He could be this. Maybe he's the secret Sith.
That would a Sith with a Killmonger haircut. That Filoni, if you did that, I'm just gonna say you're a freaking genius. Anyway, but
I don't mind it. I mean, this kind of honestly kind of reminds me a little bit of Kung Fu, the old Kung Fu series. But if this leads into Palpatine again, I'm getting ready to drop Star Wars outright because I'm getting sick of them not exploring and going beyond what they have already established. We have killed this guy. We have brought him back. We have killed him again.
Mm-hmm.
We gave him a granddaughter that he didn't need. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of him. I don't mind. Keep in mind when I say this, I love Rey. I do not love that she's Rey Palpatine. I don't think she needed to be linked to any character in Star Wars. She should have been her own about this dude. And keep in mind, I'm an old school Star Wars fan. I am more than aware there are 13 clones of this dude running around in those books, and Luke took care of all of them. But we need to move on from his ass.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, really quick, Cage, because I'm kind of jumping between Instagram and here. Cage said, I was wondering if the Sith Senator is over a century-year-old, and he said, yes, let's go Cyclops. So that kind of goes into what we're going into next, because again, Hellspawn, I will give it to him. The man has carried the Cyclops flag. I will give him that. Again, if you've been under a rock, X-Men'97 episodes 1 and 2 did release this week. And we are going to talk about them in their full capacity. So if you have not seen X-Men'97 yet, probably for the next few minutes, you may want to mute us, or you may just want to figure out what we want to say. But aside from that, I just want to go around to everybody. Now that we had episodes 1 and 2, we have seen a lot. I'm going to start with Kira first. I'm going to start with Kira and work my way up. What do we think after episodes 1 and 2 of X-Men'97?
I will say this with my entire chest. These are the best 2 episodes in the entirety of the X-Men animated series ever. I don't care. Come at me, bro. I don't fucking care. These are the best 2 episodes in the entire series.
Okay.
Well, I'm mad that what they did to Storm. I appreciate that Cyclops' testicles have descended. Magneto is still a G. And Ayo Rogue, how you do that? How's that? How's that a thing over there? I don't know. Are we spoiling things or not?
Yeah, go for it. Full. Look, we get.
How you fucking Magneto, B? How you fucking dude? You can. I mean, like the mechanics, not how. Like I get it. He's older man, power, blah 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 blah. Plus, he spits good game. But why and how? How?
Oh, how the actual mechanics?
I've heard it's like an electromagnetic field.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that's what it was. With the hand touching.
It's a skin level field he can put over himself. One of the other realities was she Ms. Marveled Polaris, unrelated to Magneto Polaris, and they're polar opposite repelling magnetic fields, so they cancel each other out.
Yeah.
So, but in this continuity, Magneto can just put a microfiber layer of magnetic field around him, and that cancels out Rogue's touch ability because she's technically not touching him.
But at the same time, though, Magneto also found shea butter. The hair was luxurious. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he also found his 80s costume from New Mutants that let everybody know he's the Big M.
Hey, sometimes you gotta put out there the costume, let them see it. But Tafari, what about you? What did you think of X-Men 97 episodes 1 and 2?
Game is better than me. I would have broke down the door and made. Well, what did Tyler the Creator say? I don't care if y'all not answer. I will break down a home. Like it would have been some dog tooth energy in that entire house. everybody in the mansion is getting woken up. Fuck you. Fuck Scott. Fuck the baby. No one's having a sound sleep because of me. I'm throwing cars at everybody's doors. Y'all gonna hear from me because I don't know how long the cut was between them holding hands and her walking out the room, but I'm not just going to sit there and listen to it after you did like what 5 seasons of crying about how we can't be together, and then I guess y'all were a thing in season 5, and then Magneto is like somebody getting fresh out of anger management, and it's just don't. Magneto basically went up there and was just like, I survived the Holocaust. Then getting hunted by Holocaust survivors. Then y'all let my friend get shot in front of the entire planet on the same stage, I think. Don't make me turn back to the old me. I'm trying to be a better person.
That pretty much what it was reformed anger. But
that Magneto was Melvin and the Senate was Jody and Baby Boy.
Pretty much. I try to be a good mutant, but look where y'all put me in. But no. Joe, what about you?
Now, these were some of the hardest episodes I've seen probably out of the entirety of the X-Men franchise. This includes Evolution and Wolverine and the X-Men. I love Wolverine and the X-Men because of Emma, but this has some like legit stuff. I don't remember them allowed being say pissed off. I don't remember the last time I saw a cartoon. I think the legit last time we saw a character giving birth with like full labor and everything was Pebbles Flintstone and Yabba Dabba and
right,
where she gave birth to her twins.
Yeah,
that was legit the last time an animated character gave birth, like fully in the hospital bedroom and everything. It's been that long.
Didn't they do one for Marge and Maggie too?
They didn't do like the full thing, but like
you can't stop before and after.
We did not see the act of Marge like pushing and whatnot feel like the full thing.
Yeah,
like I think it was Pebbles and Bam Bam's twins was like last time we had the full thing, but you may be right. I may be misremembering. Everything was fantastic. I think they changed the continuity a little bit.
There was some changes,
as I recall, like Charles died in bed beside everybody.
Yeah,
he died, and then
final season.
He died and then like went into hospice, and then Lalandra came and just took him away. I just watched it like the other day.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, so he's dead, or
he just comes back to get offed again.
Yeah, he pulls an Optimus Prime. He pulls an Optimus Prime with the X-Men, just surrounded by everybody as he goes, and yet the body is mysteriously taken away.
Basically, she's like, he can survive in my world, and he's like, I'm not dead I'm dead in body, but not in mind. And then he just they fly away. I'm like, did he bond with the ship, or what does that mean? And then they just roll credits.
True, but no,
so I don't know if it's the same continuity or like Lalandra dropped him off. Was like, all right.
I think
I've had enough of him. He's CO'd, and then they off him. But
I could see them still saying, because you can't explain that. Hey, he went off world and is just in hospice care. So I can see them just saying he's technically dead. Get a death certificate, and also y'all watched him get shot on national TV.
Right.
That was my thing. The end credits. I'm like, we're locking this man up, right? Like he's not just he's a mutant. Even when he was like, he's a mutant, I'm like, was that not common knowledge the whole time?
Right.
I get it, his powers are mental, but like, was that not already a thing?
Right, apparently not. But go,
the whole thing I liked the full. I think the thing I liked the most about it was the full circle moment with Jubilee and Roberto. Paying homage to when it was Storm and Jubilee originally, and then now it's Jubilee, who now looks Chinese. Thank God.
A little bit more, thankfully.
Well, in terms of wrestling, well, you know. Going just a full 60 and trying to convince Roberto to stay. Everything else I really enjoyed. I thought we were over this Wolverine thing with Jean and whatnot. I thought they had moved on. In storyline, I thought they moved on.
Yeah, but they come on.
Yeah, they're not there
Now
yet
back
though.
to
This is
where
before all
Leonard's
that
in,
happened.
that's a little weird.
Mhm.
I do like the team up move we never saw before
Right.
of Gambit charging the claws, even though I think that also detonates Wolverine's entire skeleton, but it's another thing entirely.
But he also did give him an exploding benet. He also gave Scott an exploding benet. So,
Well, you know.
I mean,
I'm good for Cyclops, but watching him get his own visor beat off of him was still hilarious.
look,
I was sitting there looking at that thing. It's like, did Dr. Light just give these guys Mega Man blasters?
you know what? I was like, Capcom is like this close to getting the lawyers out. Because when you saw the Sentinel Busters, I'm like, that's kind of close. I'm just saying that's real close to an X-Buster, but no.
And then Storm just rolling in and just like rolling all those Sentinels was great.
Yeah.
The Cyclops landing thing, I'm kind of like, if he's putting that much pressure on sand, why is it not glass when he lands? And then somebody told me it's like, well, it's force. It's like force, not heat. And I just told them, it's like, what part of my sentence had heat in there?
Right. But no,
I loved it. It was so much fun.
I got to point this about Cyclops, though, because you would think that because you have a visor, this visor helps you to align your shots. You have literally shown Cyclops to be a complete fighter in 5 minutes, which I loved. And the fact that you gave him a better entrance than Captain America did. These are, although, you know, I guess bump property damage. It's like, hey, as long as the line is clear, I'm just gonna full blast my ass all the way down and safely land in hero pose. But you know, property damage, we're okay with that.
I think the other thing I really liked was about Cyclops was his fighting style, where he was just like jetting, sliding across the floor from blasts, like micro blast, just scooting him back and forth, kind of like gliding across the floor.
But at the same time, I this is why I give Demetrius credit. He said, y'all all hate on Scott. I'm not going to say what he said because, you know, we say a lot of things on this show. I refuse to put those two words in the same sentence on this podcast. If you want to know what I said, go to Hellspawn's Facebook page. He says it multiple times when he calls Cyclops blank, blank. I'm leaving it at that. But I love the fact of how they showed him, how they showed Morph. People got mad about Gambit. I'm like, first off, he's Creo and he's cooking. He's cooking in a crop top. It's the 80s. Most action figures were crop tops. So
it was the 90s. I mean, you know.
I mean, let it go. Rogue, I get. Bishop, I get. And again, I love what they did with Storm. And yes, again, how they did Magneto. That whole come circle thing. He's like, you're gonna make me. Don't make me turn to the old me, because the old me would have dropped you. Don't let me let you down. I love the veiled threat in behind that. Don't let me let you down as I'm holding you above the stratosphere. I'm just in the smile on it too. That's what killed me. He's like, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying, but I'm trying not to be a murderer in the first episode. I'm trying not to be.
Don't make me choke you.
Right. But no, overall with X-Men 97, again, I loved it. I don't see nothing wrong with it because I love the direction they're going in. The fact that, like you said, Jubilee did have a full circle moment. You saw Jean. You saw Rogue was like, I could be a doctor for 30 minutes. I just need a surgeon. Just come here. Come here. We'll get you taken care of. But no. Also, with that being said, another friend of ours was on the podcast. He wasn't able to be here to give his point of view, but really quickly, I want to show him and his opinion on X-Men 97.
To me, my X-Men.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome to Shadow Creators Entertainment. It's your boy Shadow King, and oh my goodness, we are back. I feel like it's Saturday morning. I got me some friggin' Lucky Charms in a bowl, and I'm watching X-Men on TV. X-Men 97 is here, episode 1, episode 2. This is not no full breakdown. This is not. I just want to get my thoughts. summed up in 2 words. Holy shit. Yo, like seriously. The hype for this show, and it's just getting started. It's the thing. It's just getting started. The hype for this show has been so up there. Like ever since they made the announcement, we've all been excited for it. Of course, you had those, sitting there once more information came out. Oh, X-Men is too woke now. Man, shut up, bro. If you have been a fan of this series since 1992, none of that shit should matter. Turn your brain off. Stop being political and watch an amazing series. This literally picks up months, not a year, not 2 months after the supposed, I'm using air quotes if you can't see it because I'm recording audio, death of Charles Xavier while he was taken into space with the Shi'ar to be healed. It takes place months. And there are little cosmetic changes, but they literally pick up right where they left off. And episode 1 alone answered for the hype of this series. They got Cyclops over here actually throwing balls with his optic blast, saying classic 90s lines, oh no, I'm powerless. Not, bruh. That took me back, man. What else? It just and then to see the group shots, the obviously the animation is not completely the same. This new animation leaves a lot more room to actually move and feel like animation, and there's much more dynamic movement, and they're doing team up moves with Gambit and Wolverine, and bro, just I'm too hyped for this. It's too hype. Look, I said I wasn't gonna do no full breakdown. I'm not. The first 2 episodes of X-Men'97 are out. Go watch it. Let me tell you right now, as I always said over the last 15, 16 years I've been doing this, the hype is real. Go watch it. Let's talk about it. We're going to do a podcast on episode soon with the homie Joe. But right now, that's it for this episode, guys. What do you guys think about X-Men'97? Have you watched episode 1 and 2? Are you going to watch every episode now from today, March 20th, up until May 22nd, which is the 10-episode run? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below.
All right. Thank you for that, Shadow. So, again, I think all around, X-Men'97 is kind of a hit, unless you're a Ben Shapiro fan or Candace Owens. Oh, I'm going to throw shots. I'm going to be petty as hell. But
you know how I feel about both. But
who the hell is Candace Owens?
Correct.
Nobody important.
Correct.
Just
Correct.
nobody important, Joe.
And all of her former coworkers.
Right.
But yeah, I see everybody, even in the Marvel vs. Capcom community, they're like, Cyclops is basically using his in-game moveset, and Storm is being used from far away like a Final Fantasy summon.
Yep. Which
everybody clear the blast zone, summoning Bahamut.
But no, I can't complain about
it. And I
that.
like that they gave her the intro of Omega level threat detected before she rolled in.
Man.
And then, who is this woman? If you want to live, shut up and do as I say. Okay? Now take the collar.
Pretty much.
And every black woman, every fucking where. Every black woman everywhere. Shut the fuck up and just listen.
That part was funny. Wise decision. The fact that she said it and they followed, wise decision. I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That's the Storm that I want to see. And
I'm happy for Cyclops and Storm fans, but nobody's talking about that boy getting beat like Ben in an RDC skit outside the dam. He got his goggles. Cyclops. That boy got his goggles beat. At that point, if I'm getting hit that much, hold his arm and just blast in front of him.
All I gotta say is real quick, with all the technology adaptations, how is he still losing his visor that quickly?
And we put it back on.
You didn't have Earth magnets back then.
I'm just pointing that out. Of all the adaptations and technology available at the mansion, glue apparently, or hooks, or something of that nature couldn't be used.
And then when he put it back on, it was like, all right, Cyclops is tapping out. Go raise your son, man. Like, just go to the hospital. Like, tap out. And then
What are you gonna say, Joe?
So speaking of that,
Mm-hmm.
who wants to take money on episode 3? Who actually gave birth? Gene or Maddie?
Maddie.
Maddie.
Easy money.
So
Easy
episode
money.
3, I'm taking bets. Who actually gave birth to baby Cable? Gene or Maddie?
Maddie.
Is that baby Cable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nathan Summers.
Is
Nathan Summers.
that
That's Cable.
Okay, so who is this having to do with? Whoever our morph related threat is in the opening credits and her dark vision?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like giving me Dragon Ball Super vibes when they would do the intro and do the quick wipe of the bad guy and the new form.
So here's how you know it's Gene. Gene gives birth to Rachel.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. So again, but either way, X-Men 97. Again, we seem to have nobody seems to have anything bad to say about this, which I love. And the guys in Cage over on the other side of Instagram, he's saying that's Maddie because that's baby Cable. Yep, we all seem to be in the agreement that definitely is Maddie who gives birth to Cable. So
I do like Wolverine having to be the one to drive her to the hospital. Who's here, Magneto? The baby. Now take the keys and drive, smartass.
That's still funny as hell. But moving right along, guys, I do got to ask y'all this question because although we will see across Spider-Verse sometime this year, I ask you guys how y'all feel about this because even though we have to wait until holiday season of this year to actually get another Across Spider-Verse movie, we're actually going to be getting a short. This short, which will be on the YouTube page for Sony on March 27th, will be titled The Spider Within, a Spider-Verse story, which is basically Miles Morales in between movies, between Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, where he's basically going to be given a short about balancing, the life as a life as Spider-Man, life as a student, and dealing with anxiety, panic attacks, and things of that nature, and still doing crime fighting. So I gotta ask y'all this: is this needed for right now? Because this seems more of a hidden message to this, like really explaining about mental health, explaining about resources available, and asking for help, and noticing the signs within oneself. So there is kind of a subtle message behind this, but I do have to ask. Even though we are looking forward to Miles Morales' next story, how do y'all feel about the short that's going to be on 5 days from now?
It's needed. I think that a lot of the kids that are being introduced to Miles Morales through these movies, I think it's a good way to introduce them to things that may be coming down the line for them, especially with their hormones and everything kicking in. This movie is going to come out in 2025, hopefully. That's the goal. I mean, the kids that started out with him that were 6 are going to be turning 10 and 11 at around this time. It's not a bad introduction to how to handle anxiety. I'm not mad at it. I think it's okay.
I mean, for me, I love it. The fact that it's taking storytelling, but at the same time you're making it relatable because there is a mental health crisis. There is things that kids are experiencing, especially kids that have been through the pandemic and COVID and things of that nature. So, and the fact you're doing this with Miles, because let's be honest, Spider-Man's relatable. What were you going to say, Kira?
I was going to say also in the Black and brown communities, we don't go to therapy. So I think this is extremely important for people that identify with Miles, especially as children and adults.
Yeah. Safari, Joe, what y'all think?
I think this is Sony apologizing for Madam Web. We're getting this. We're getting Venom leaks on purpose. We're getting every other Spider-Man movie is coming back out in theaters. It's not an apology accepted, but it's a start.
I had to stop myself because I almost hollered into the mic.
Which one of you crazy bastards sold out the Madam Web Steelbook? You sick mother MF.
Oh, I almost laughed.
Those are for coasters.
It may be, but they sold out in 60 seconds.
Yeah, that the steel book for Madam Web is already gone. But again,
You fucking
this is
kidding me?
the
What's
their
wrong with y'all?
this the apology. No, because I think because we got to have a history of it existing. Because just like Morbius is the same way. Morbius has a steel book and it's gone. That tells you something. Almost every terrible movie, including Venom. Venom was probably Sony's most profitable movie so far. Every one of their steelbooks is gone. We talked about this on here and on Blurred's Eye View. We talked about this. The attack on physical media is real, bad movie or not. But damn, this is an apology for Madam Web.
But is it a flex? Because who knows how many copies they actually made? Just because I can sell out 10 copies of any goddamn thing if I want to. It's not like they made 5 million copies of Madam Web. Well,
they probably have like a
don't
base
know
amount
what number they made.
Yeah,
they probably have like a base amount that they sell for everything, and that was it. But it's still the fact that there was anything left.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it'll be. I'm happy to get new Miles content, especially this is like because we've seen all the Peters go through some kind of existential mental crisis with just being Spider-Man. His is usually related to his life and death and having to save everyone else while getting trapped up in their nonsense.
And Michael Jackson also needs the devil. Well, I mean,
he wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong.
He wasn't
but no,
wrong.
but it is interesting as far as that. Like I said, with that short being out there, it is kind of giving us a taste before we actually get across. Beyond the Spider-Verse is what I meant to say. We already have Across the Spider-Verse. Beyond the Spider-Verse is the next movie. But no, I think it's great for that part. But before I get into Invincible, because I know Tafari, you've seen it. Kira, have you seen it?
I saw the one before yesterday. I haven't seen.
Okay, so you saw 5. One. So you haven't seen 6, but you've seen 5. Okay. Well, before I get to that, because 2 trailers I have to get to. 1, I did not see coming, and 2, I wish Lainey was here, but Lainey is currently enjoying Ghostbusters Frozen Empire because go to Lainey's channel at Geek by Heart. Number 1, because she and her husband has reviewed this trailer, and it's freaking adorable how they acted. I always think it's cute as hell whenever they do. I think it's cute as hell whenever they do reviews because number 1, I relate to her husband so much because speaking of the devil, I'm about to duck out and come back after y'all. I'm about to duck out and come back after y'all. I'm here. Well, Lainey, since you're here, she I don't know if she's still out or not, but Lainey, since you can hear us, we did want to point out also at Geek by Heart, because they did do the Alien Romulus trailer reaction. Definitely go out to her page on YouTube and definitely check it out because the exuberant joy that they have is infectious and adorable. I wish I could replicate that, but I just love watching those two. But anyway, I want to get to this because, yes, there is another Alien trailer. And after this, I have to ask this question. Do we need it? Here's Alien Romulus.
Oh, I haven't seen this yet. I forgot.
Come on, help me, please. No, what is it? Get it, no,
Run.
And that was the trailer for Alien Romulus. As you can see, guys, will be coming out this year, August the 16th. I'm going to be honest. How is that we have this many Alien movies and yet not one Colonial Marine has figured out to wear a bodysuit? Face hugger.
It doesn't work.
I mean, there's other things.
They cut somebody had a bodysuit in one of them and they cut the fucking hole open and they still went inside. I think that was one of the bodies that had the thing inside, and it bust out through the glass when it I like aliens. I was raised on that movie as a child. I'm very certain about that. I'm very certain about that.
Okay. I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have some to add to the Miles trailer, the Miles story?
I'm just looking forward to it because it may give us a glimpse into the upcoming Beyond. Mental health is always something that we need to be on the lookout for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You were saying?
You were saying, Joe?
Go ahead. It's fine.
You sure?
Yep, it's fine. I'll get to it afterwards.
No,
Go ahead. We got for a limited time. It's fine.
No, go. That's important.
No,
I'm sorry that I came in at a bad time.
No, you didn't. You absolutely did not. No, it's just important that this gets shown because kids Miles' age need to know that mental health is something they need to look out for, something that they need to get seen for if they feel they're in that particular space.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this also shows how he can de-escalate a personal panic attack. Because that's something that also people need to know how to do.
Yep.
This just comes at a very important time and it needs to be shown in any way possible. Hopefully this gets shown to a lot of people because, Miles has that kind of reach these days.
That's true. But also with Lady, the person I talked up, Geek by Heart, how are you? Because I did not expect you to just pop in from the car.
So I was listening to you guys on the way home, and I just was about to say, I was like, I wanted to say hi in the chat, and I was like, I'm gonna duck out because y'all talking about Invincible and I haven't seen it yet, and I was gonna duck back in 20 minutes later.
We haven't talked about Invincible just yet, but I was talking about Alien Romulus, and I was pointing out the fact that you and your husband really have done a lot of trailer reactions, and I love the fact of just the plus me and your husband have this thing about the fact we're excited about something, we're gonna freaking show it, and that's infectious. And the fact that y'all two, when y'all do reactions, it is just so adorable to watch y'all talk about things that you love and just the hobbies and the passions. I just think it's effing adorable. That's the reason I was like, you gotta check. I mean, I can only give a reaction, but you and your husband, y'all can give a story behind the reaction. That's all I was talking about. You over at Geek by Heart.
That.
You guys can do it. Y'all guys can do it way better than I can. I just like to watch, but
I think we bring the character to it, and you bring the absolute cerebral part of it. And hi, Joe. I see y'all all the time. Hey, my lovely podcast people. I miss y'all. Hi.
But before you go, because again, you've seen Alien Romulus, is as a griot or horror, if you will. What are your opinion on it? Is it worth watching? Is it a wait and see? What do you think?
So I mean, listen, it's a teaser trailer, so they're not gonna give you that much. What they give you, however, I think that it's trying to say we have the spirit of what has come before. I think that one of the things that I'm not that crazy about is that they're doing Saw X. They're putting it between the original Aliens and then the sequel. So it's now you might have an alternate branching line if Romulus becomes a thing, because it's all about the franchise now, and it's all about consistently having characters. It's not really about the story itself of maybe even the aliens. And I think that that's going to be a problem if Romulus does do well. So I think that for me, I would have liked for them to actually have done about maybe 10 years after Aliens, so that you can kind of give the space of the aliens surviving characters at that point room to breathe, or even 50 years after, room to breathe, so that you're not really expecting Hicks, or you're not really expecting Newt, you're not really expecting Ripley. Have a brand new cast, have a brand new story, and then build the mythology from there. I think they should have done that.
Okay.
Lady, I have go finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Nah, that was pretty much it. But the only thing I was gonna add was just that, at least I like the aesthetic. It's giving Alien Isolation actually from the video game. It's giving tight corridors. If you got Fede Alvarez of Don't Breathe, you're gonna have claustrophobia. You know what I'm saying? You getting the same man that gave you freaking Evil Dead, you're gonna have a lot of probably authentic effects that's going to blow your mind. I'm ready for that. And it fits really well with aliens. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
no, I agree with you, Will, on that. I was geeked. What was you gonna say, Carrot?
I was gonna say, but there are stories to be told between 1 and 2, because remember, we don't know the details of how all those people on those colonies died. This could be the colony story.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I want to see how they get, like, how stupid, how smart, because it took a long time for them to realize that there was a problem on the ship, and then an even longer time for them to get out there with Ridley. So there's a fight on that planet. There is a fight to stay alive.
Okay. So if there is legacy after Romulus, then I will take what you're saying and put that firmly into that category as like, yup, you can have that continuous story, because then it melds that story of Aliens 2 a lot better, because you're basically prequeling Aliens 2, and then you can continue in a completely different direction after Aliens 2 with even a brand new cast there.
Yeah.
Right.
But the horror side of it all, that's the part I'm like, I love the fact, and I wish Will was here. I wish Mayhem Media was here, because he's the audiophile of the group. He will be able to sit there and say if the sound was on point or not. I'm pretty sure once we're all back on bird's eye view, he's going to point that out. But I love the whole detail. You're not seeing horror, but you're basing it on audio. You're basing it on audio. You're basing it on timing. You're based on light and shadows. The blood is minuscule, but the fact that everything else is enhanced to actually have the fear and anticipation behind it. Okay, I will give this Aliens movie a shot. I will, because it just when you have that kind of thing, like not to compare it to video games, but when you have a Dead Space feel to it, that kind of gets your attention. That's like, okay, this is a survival horror. This is exactly what it should be, type of thing. So I'm gonna be honest, that's gonna have my whole thing behind it. But Joe, Tafari, what do y'all think?
I mean, the most terrifying sound of this movie is going to be a lot of skittering sounds.
Yeah.
Because the most terrifying thing in that trailer is that great busting open with all those face huggers.
That part.
So just hearing,
and that was a fast moving hit face hugger too.
So just hearing this, like coming, getting louder and louder and louder, and that great busting open, that's going to be one of the most terrifying things in the movie.
Oh yeah, Tafari.
Someone who loves sound design, Mayhem is gonna have fun with this, but the fact that I feel like Isolation the one that's good. It's all like the Fire Team games that were terrible after, right?
No. Fire Team was also good.
Was it?
Fire Team was good.
You know, I think there was a game before Isolation that tanked really bad. That's what it was.
Marines, which tried to tell the tale afterwards and failed horribly.
Yeah, I like the what seems to be the isolation aspect, along with, hey, this is all just like if they skip the slow roll of, hey, alien invades, someone gets if they just start with, hey, it's all gone to shit, we're just trying to get out of here. I am fully on board with that. Like if we just start an aliens movie with absolute chaos, I'm totally on board, because I feel the way they're setting it up, because I'm not the biggest lore person, because born in 95. If they set it up as something that lore heavy you can enjoy, or you can just enjoy it if you're going to see a movie, I think this will do really well.
Yeah, I give you that.
Didn't we cover a synopsis where it's supposed to be like some like kids come back from a planet or something, and they get to a space station, and either they bring the egg unknowingly to the station, or the station is already infested and they're just trying to survive the station. I feel like we read a synopsis about that at some point.
I think it was the second. It may have been a couple podcasts back, but I'm 80% sure it's the second part of that was the synopsis.
Because like the principal cast is supposed to be like teens and 20-somethings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because they're trying to relate to a younger audience, so they're going with the younger cast.
I just hope they're
Which
gonna
makes
have
sense.
a hard R.
Well, I'm sorry, what do you say, Laney?
I just hope it's still gonna be a hard R.
Oh, it
should
be. It's gonna be a depth. Not the hard R as in the R we are used to, but hopefully just rated R, because anything above rated R is an X, and let's be honest, we don't want
NC-17. NC-17.
Well, that's almost approaching Diddy status. But anyway, but moving right before we get to our next trailer, Lenny, can you stick with us for a few minutes because we're actually about to cover the Beetlejuice teaser.
Oh, I didn't even watch that.
Me
Absolutely.
either.
That was one of my favorite movies of all time as a kid.
Oh my god!
The title is clever.
Yeah, the title is clever, but if you can stick around for a few minutes, we're actually going to see that trailer, and I actually want your opinion on that. So, but that being said, guys, here is the trailer, literally titled Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And yes, it is a running joke.
Mm-hmm.
Daylight come and we want to go. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want to go. Me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day, me say day. Daylight come and we want to go.
The juice is loose.
And that was the teaser trailer, guys, for Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Of course, directed by Tim Burton. Michael Keaton is reprising his role as well as others. As you can see, it is going to be in theaters September 6th of this year. So, I know, Lainey, you haven't seen it. Kira, it's because you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to start with y'all too. Because it is a teaser trailer, what do you think?
It looks so good. It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm sorry. I used to dance around the house with my mom. Like, so I have like instant, like this was like a happy memory for me. I might cry a little.
Beetlejuice or the song?
Both. Me and my mom would watch Beetlejuice and we would dance around the house to Harry fucking Belafonte, to fucking Deo, not all day long, but it was a joyous time. Joyous time.
Okay. Joe, Tafari, what about you guys?
I don't remember much about the first Beetlejuice movie, but Michael Keaton just keeps getting work, and I can't complain about anything he does. So,
okay, Joe.
I'm down with it. I'm wondering who passed. Is it the dad from the first movie, or is it Winona Ryder's yet to be seen husband and
I think
Jay Ortega's dad? Like which dad? No, I want to know which dad died.
Oh, which dad? That's a good question.
I'm gonna assume it is
Lydia's dad.
Assume it is Home Alone mom's husband, because that actor right now I think is blacklisted.
Bueller, the principal from Bueller, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, I think isn't he like blacklisted right now? I think if I'm not mistaken.
Is it?
Like there's some like, and I could be wrong. I thought that there was allegations against him.
That's a good question. I'm not really sure.
Then I'm gonna stop because it seems like no one knows that.
That's also
that I might be mistaken. So
actually, Mr. File Max does say yes. There is that. He says yes to that question. So he said, yeah, there is some allegations to him.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be his character then, because then that's a way of writing off the character.
Although he also says it could be both. It could be both characters that could be off. So it's. I love this because Tim Burton doesn't really give a lot of information behind his movies until they're out, which I love, because it has to have some mystery to it. And yes, Beetlejuice, for all those that don't know, kids who were born after 1998. There was a movie called Beetlejuice. That was a wonderful cult classic. For a lot of us in this group outside of Safari, sorry,
I was
we all grew up to this, and we've all, like I said, Day-O was a song that triggers into a lot of us, because if you haven't seen the original, you won't know where we got it from. At the same time, why some people get superstitious about saying Beetlejuice 3 times, and of course, if you hear somebody go, "It's showtime," after having a couple of Jaeger bombs, understand that's a certain group of people out there. It's not everybody. So.
Also, keep in mind, we grew up with Beetlejuice the cartoon, so here's hoping we'll get Martha across the street and Jacques the weightlifting skeleton.
Yeah,
he's French.
Right.
So again, for all those that you're gonna get a wonderful experience with this, and I'm pretty sure Beetlejuice, if it's not already gonna be on a streaming service by now, it's probably gonna disappear, only to reappear probably before this movie comes out, just to remind people that yes, a movie was out before this one. I would not be surprised. But again, still great things. So all around, I love the fact that there have been a lot of trailers that have came out, and at the same time, there hasn't been any bad things about them. It's freaking beautiful in my opinion. But yeah, aside from that, again, I do want to touch on Invincible really quickly, just because we do have a couple of video game trailers before we get to our comic books. Lanny, you still cool to stick around? Because I know we don't want to keep you hostage in the car.
It is no, actually, one reason why we went to go see it. He went to go see it yesterday, and I went to go see it today, so we could do our review actually tonight, so it could drop tomorrow morning.
Cool. So definitely check out Geek by Heart for their review. So that's going to be interesting. I want to see his opinion on Frozen Empire, actually, about your husband.
Did you like Frozen Empire?
Huh?
Did you like it?
You know what? When I'm looking at my notes, I have a lot of negative notes. However, to be honest with you, when I left happy. So I'm really conflicted.
IGN just gave it a 4, so there's that.
And and I've seen a lot of people like trash it. I'm like, I did enjoy it. I can't lie to you. I don't think it's a 4.
So here's the thing. And here's what is actually being said in the Ghostbuster community. The people that are trashing it and are only asking for stuff from the first movie. The way that we are approaching this now in the Ghostbuster community, because I'm one of the Tennessee Ghostbusters, is maybe you are not the bigger fan of the franchise that, and this is not me directing it towards anybody in general, this was what was said, is maybe you're not actually a fan of the Ghostbusters in the way you think you are. Maybe you're a fan of the original movie and are just trying to recapture that magic. But the way you're going about it is only liking the original movie and not supporting anything from the franchise, which is fine. But we are here to support the entire franchise. We are not here just to support and dream of getting another version of the 84 movie over and over and over again. We're ready for change.
Agreed.
Yeah. But again, like I said, I'm looking forward to
definitely.
No, I'm sorry, Lane, you're breaking up. Say it one more time.
Oh no, you definitely see that. This, even more than Afterlife, you can see the influence of the now of what, first of all, they think comedy should be, of what they think Ghostbusters horror should be, because there is a couple of elements that if they would have actually drawn it out, would have been super freaky. But I think they did undercut it a little bit by the not a little bit, like halfway by the horror, especially in the climax. But I think that, like, when you also think about how you're merging legacy characters with new cast, I think it does better than some of the other things that have happened so far, where you have nothing but legacy characters just basically taking over and overshadowing your new cast.
Oh yeah,
I think they did a better job doing that, as like just merging.
Nice.
Now this is a really good episode. This is like a live action episode of.
There was one moment, but I'm not going to say
spoilers. Hang on, Joe.
Came out, but if you've seen it, there's one moment.
Oh no!
Oh no! She'll come back. But we're going while we wait for Lady to come back. We're going to say, Joe.
The Wi-Fi has hands in
her
our
house.
house.
I'm disagreeing with her. I compare it to like a live action episode of the real Ghostbusters, just with a broader cast.
Yeah. Well, we'll give Lady a few minutes because, like I said, I didn't want to hold her hostage in the car because her and that Wi-Fi be fighting. But while waiting for her to come back, Tafari, I know you've seen it. I've seen it. Kira still got a chance to come up on it, so we're not going to spoil this. Invincible. I gotta ask you, Tafari, because you and me have caught up. What do you think so far?
I'll say following the last episode, I agree with Hilton. Why didn't Ant-Man go inside Thanos? Welp. And the only thing I will give him for why that worked is because I guess they're the Lizard League, so stretchy reptilian skin, maybe. Because in the comics, I looked at it. It was not that dragged out. Literally jump, bite, swallow, the end. Didn't even try to expand. So apparently this character's gotten a lot more shine than the comics did. But as far as following up on the next episode, Cecil doesn't let anybody clock out ever.
Never at all.
It's Thor in Ragnarok. We're done when I say we're done.
Pretty much. No, I'm gonna reiterate that too, just because where Invincible is as it stands with episode 6. I love the fact that they brought back a certain character, and the certain character's like, I think I can fight a Virtualite. I think I can fight you guys now. He's like,
no, I know that the orange dude is back. The I forgot what his name is, but I know he's back.
Oh yeah, there's a read there. You're gonna get to that in episode 6 about that, Kira. But no, overall with Invincible, like I said, just to kind of keep it as low key is pretty much out. Okay, Kira's gonna come back, but just to keep it as not spoiler release as we can. Invincible itself has been good as well. It is weird how they're adapting to this 1 episode per week thing when we're used to, maybe 1 or 2. It could be because of the pandemic. It could be because of the writer's strike and it affected that and everything trying to get back on track. But overall with Invincible right now, it just seems to be effing great. I just can't wait to see what he finally discovers because it's getting to a point in the comics where it's a turning point. And I don't want to say it until it actually happens because it will change the entire story as we know it. So again, I'm not going to go too deep into that. It's just a wait and see moment. Like I said, me and Safari have read well into it. That's why I'm like, if it gets that part, cool. Not complaining. It's like Black Panther episode. It's like Ultimate Black Panther at the end of issue number 2. I wish Chris was here because I can only imagine his excitement if he read it. But anyway, moving right along, guys. We do got a couple more trailers again before we get to our comic pulls. Season 1 trailer of Doctor Who. And why should you be paying attention? Well, because this doctor is not only black, man got soul and style. Here's the trailer.
Yo.
Give me the loving!
Where did he come from?
I don't know, he sort of popped up at the right moment. And then he spoke about time travel.
Ruby, you want to know my secret? I have the whole universe at my fingertips. And I'm all on my own. I'd love it if you came with me.
Who are you?
I'm the Doctor. Time may change me. It's called the TARDIS. It's a time and space machine.
Is it safe?
No idea.
What if I change history by stepping on a butterfly?
Well, that's not gonna happen, is it?
Oh, what's wrong?
With all my adventures, never seen anything like this before.
Oh my, Bridgerton! This place is completely mad.
Things seem to be turning more and more supernatural.
Is that monster?
No, don't be silly. There's no such thing as monsters. They're just creatures you haven't met yet. There are powers beyond the universe, so vast. The whole world could slide into the pit. This is what we're trying to stop. I'm still her mum. I need to know she'll be okay. You'll keep her safe? I will keep her safe. I promise.
It's taken me all this time to realize what I'm here to do. We're gonna save the world.
Everything is possible. Everything is possible.
Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Okay, now that, guys, was the season 1 trailer for Doctor Who, which I'm looking forward to just because of the actor who I promise before this season is over, I will be able to say his name properly. Yes, Joe, I know I will get it right. Joe has made it. Joe has made a point on this podcast to point this out that I have yet to be able to pronounce this man's name. I will not destroy this man's name. I will master it. But that was the trailer for Doctor Who. Again, we and Joe did cover this a while back. That this show did kind of get riddled with some controversy. Of course, his first companion is really going to be leaving after the first season. At this time, we don't know whether or not this Doctor is going to have a season 2. He sat there and said that as of the moment, there's nothing in writing. There's really nothing going forward beyond season 1. That could be a smokescreen because let's be honest. What Doctor Who do you know that doesn't have more than the one season behind it? So, overall, what are you gonna say, Joe?
Christopher Eccleston.
Well, I mean that was a whole fight though. Technically, yes, his did have one, but that's a whole other thing between him, the studios, and Moffat. But that's a whole nother story. But no, with this one though, it looks like it's going to be great. Again, if you have BBC or VPN. I'm just gonna keep pointing that out. I'm not saying you should.
Oh no,
I'm just saying
it's worth whatever they ask for.
Hang on, what do you say, Joe?
No. This is gonna come out naturally on Disney Plus May 11th.
Oh, sweet. Okay, never mind then. Although if you used to using the BBC player for all other shows, do what you will. What are you gonna say, Kira?
The VPN is worth whatever they're asking. Just do it.
Oh, I love making believers out of people. Anyway, what are we saying? What do you say?
I want to say one thing. I think that Motown episode, maybe a fully musical episode.
I hope so, but that's gonna be it. Should be a musical episode, but good lord, the lawyers and musical licenses behind that. Because if you ever try to share music on YouTube lately, you gotta buy a license now. But Kira, Tafari,
they have access to everything.
Say what? Hang on, Joe, you're breaking up. Say it one more time.
It's the BBC. They got access to a lot of music.
True, to a certain extent. You're right. But Tafari, Kira, anything about Doctor Who? Looking forward to it. The fact that there's a black doctor with an afro and yet has not caused an issue in the United Kingdom.
Give it time. Give it time. Wait for the reviews. Wait for the reviews to open up. It'll premiere with a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes for every episode, but
it does. Yeah, I mean, you ain't me wrong, but it does look kind of fun. But
yeah, as someone who has no history with the Doctor, as someone with no Doctor Who history, again, this seems like a very inviting series that if you know the lore, you'll have fun, or if you just want to start from here and just see this guy's run as the Doc, you'll still enjoy it.
Although I will sit there and say, not Matt Smith, forgot his name already. Thank you. David Tennant's second run as the Doctor and Neil Patrick Harris's character. I'm sorry, that's going to be hard to top from last season. So hopefully they'll give him something because it's hard to top a man that literally sung his way to defeating every enemy. But anyway, like I said, before we get to our comic book pools, couple of video game trailers that we do have. Dragon. Wait.
I'm like, wait a minute, I have words too. Wait, I want to talk about.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Fuller House than normal.
No, it's okay. It's Yuti Gatwa.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at the pronunciation this entire time?
I have this pinned in our group chat.
He really does. It's sad.
It's not hard. It's really not hard. I mean, I'm as somebody that likes languages and understands that other people can't speak the languages. This one really ain't hard, boo.
Again, it's sad.
Now we're just dogpiling.
I repeat the previous comment of it's really sad.
I had a Korean teammate in high school. I think that man now rivals him for the hardest name I've ever had to pronounce. Wong Mong Ko Jin Watanabe. We just called him Pepper.
If
Don't
it didn't
ask
have
me
a
why.
in it, then I
Don't
don't
ask
wanna
me
hear it.
why. That's what he told me. He was an exchange student. He just said, "Call me Pepper." Never questioned
So
it.
wait, what did he say his name was?
Wong Mong Cole Jane Watanabe.
I should be laughing at
That's
that.
like 3 different types of Asian in one name.
Look,
I mean, they are kind of close together, so maybe he was a little extra something on one
I
side.
don't
You
know.
know what?
Is
I have
he
new.
Chinese, Taiwanese, and Japanese? Because
I
those are
I-
3 different types of Asian in one name.
I have a new title for this episode. They called him Pepper.
Yeah.
it.
First day of wrestling practice, he's like, "This is our exchange student. Tell him your name." And he tells me his name, and everybody just looks at me, and then they just laugh. Ha! We just call him Pepper. Go to practice. I was like, "What the fuck was that?" That was an intro.
Oh,
His last name is Jin Watanabe.
Jane Watanabe. Yeah, Wong Mong Cole, first name, last name, Jane Watanabe. But as
Jay
someone who has his
Watanabe.
name, as someone
So
who has
he
his
is
name
lying.
butchered,
So let me be honest with you. He is clearly lying to you. He just doesn't want to say what his name is.
it's what his name is on Facebook, and it's what his paperwork says.
We just gonna let that ride because the fact that they call him Pepper sounds like an anime title.
I didn't ask. Either they gave it to him or he told him to use it. I got there after football was done. Wrestling team would have said we call him that. I was like, as someone who has his name butchered all the time, I at least want to learn how to say it. So,
I get it, but it's just this
Someone
is
needs
the
to go
delivery.
to Ellis Island and check those record books.
Oh dear
and
God!
look, it was on his transcripts. It was on his diploma. It's on his pilot's license that he has over there now.
I'm just tripping off the fact that the delivery that's gonna stick with me for the rest of the night. That
Ocoee,
being
Florida,
said,
man, that is Ocoee, Florida. For you.
Pepper in.
They call him Pepper.
But back to people with hard names. Kira, the doctor.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I want to watch the show. I want to watch.
We also have to
I'm not a
remember.
Doctor Who.
We also got to remember the doctor. One of the doctor's generation is also a black woman. So,
Yep, the 14th Doctor is a black woman, but still, just I'm sorry. I gotta move on because I'm gonna be saying they call him Pepper like it's a intro at this moment. It's gonna be stuck in my head. All right,
he is clearly lying to you. Like I said, those are 3 different Asian names in one name.
Oh dear God. Oh, video game trailers. Before we get to our comic book pulls, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. Like it, love it, hate it. Here it is.
Peggy 12.
Quiet back there.
Full power! You'll soon understand the difference in our power! My speed is unmatched even among crime teams. You keep up with me, kid? This is the true might of a Super Saiyan strength!
A mindless beast like you is nothing but prey to a warrior of love. Now, you're my prey!
How many ladies are all around me? I'm old, yes, but experienced. Founder of the Turtle School, creator of the sacred technique, and the Kamehameha! Well then, let playtime begin. Whether it's this universe or another, I'm always the fastest! Don't think I'm gonna follow your orders for the rest of my life! Size means nothing when you're as quick as me!
Justice prevails! Evil erased! This rampaging monster must be taught a lesson!
Come on, mate, you're a you! Get your head together! I am not going to be left in the dust! Yeah, let's do it up! Purple! Coming! Attack! My enemies die! Are you joking?
this up quickly.
Don't think you can enter my crosshairs and just walk away. You cannot win.
Good grief. Looks like we've awakened a real bona fide monster.
And as you can see, guys, that was the trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. That is part of the Budokai Tenkaichi series. They keep on saying Broly at full power. You never see him at full power. He just keeps going up. But again, me nitpicking. That's all I'm saying. And thank you, Mr. Final Max. Kale versus Broly. I just want the internet to declare I'm in. Yeah, to see those two go at it would be interesting. But Tafari, I see you fist pumping, sir. I know you got opinions about this.
I'm curious to see if we have other types that are going to be there, because with most fighting games, when they do types, it's usually what speed, power, and like a balance. So I'm curious. There's no way they're going to have just two. I'm excited because people have been asking for a Tenkaichi game for like 20 years, and we just pretend Ultimate never happened. But the fact, it seems like there's a lot of love being put into this one, because the fact, when was the last time anyone gave a damn about the purple comet attack? Like, we skip right past that. Like, that fight happens, but the fact that you're putting that much detail into characters like Jason Berger of all people, and even going as far as to show that there will be unique voice lines, which with 100+ character roster, the last Tenkaichi 3 and even Tag Team did when you put certain combos in. I just need them to do the sound design better than they did Xenoverse, because Jesus, the fact that it's that bad after so many updates.
That is kind of saying a lot. Joe, what about your thoughts?
Oh, I love it. I don't like the fact that 1/4 of this cast is Goku and Vegeta, but considering we see in-game in another trailer, you can transform into any of those different versions. You just got to pick. But I'm all down for it. In fact, they fight in one of my favorite stages. Like, every Tenkaichi I would fight in the city stage just to put people through it and put that into like a flat land of rubble. And to see the city stage being even more expanded upon is just like, I'm there for it. Plus, it's got Super Broly. So now we get to see whose power is more maximum, movie Broly or canon Broly.
Fair point. Although, again, it's all about property destruction in Dragon Ball. Kira, would this make you play it, or would you pass it? Go ahead.
Okay, so honestly, I've never played any of these games. I'm not even gonna lie. I was very engrossed in the dialogue that was in the captions. As a voice actor person, it's very interesting to see how they choose to vocalize those absolute no words, non-words.
I was wondering why Sora was said like 3 different times.
when you have to find the translation, and there's not one. You gotta have to go.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
Please don't let the audio sound like it was recorded in a booth with an echo. All the updates we've had for Xenoverse, and the voice acting sounds like they read it once and then left, and then nobody mastered it. They just put the MP3 in like the lowest format in the game.
Damn. Although Mayhem, I can only imagine Mayhem E is gonna have a field day with this if the audio is that bad. What you got, Joe?
So before we move on, I do want to make note that on Twitter /X/ ever what we're calling it,
the Dark Place,
Dragon Ball Games, we can call it that too. Mine's technically a little bit brighter and shinier than yours, but that's because it's full of tokusatsu stuff. My
main one is good. The other one is being flooded by the annoying OF bots. So
there you go. So Dragon Ball Games, which is the official Twitter of Dragon Ball Z of Namco's for Dragon Ball Games, has just confirmed, I think as of Friday, that Kakarot's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will have a 3rd season of DLC. So they are not quite done with that game yet.
So they are going to stick. They are going to
So
stick with
what
brother.
I don't know.
I mean,
the fact that we're going backwards and forwards, the fact that we're doing GT stuff, and the fact that we did like Kid Vegeta and the Bardock stuff, and then they even gave the fact that they did a DLC where they showed Vegeta doing the God ceremony.
Yeah,
I could see the games pulling a Naruto and adapting the source material before the show ever does, because I feel like that Goku and Vegeta trailer was teasing Instinct and Ego probably going to be DLC, but possibly being a thing. And especially with how the last chapter ended, which rest in peace Toriyama. That was like, if there was ever a chapter to go out on, that was it.
Right.
Oh yeah, with like Piccolo being the last person on the page, most definitely, because Piccolo was Toriyama's favorite, despite the fact that he forgot half of Piccolo's powers almost every time.
I mean,
in fact, where they have to remind us, like, you can go big, right? Wait, yes, you're right. I forgot about that.
We developed more characters. I mean,
he made up lore for the androids like 20 years later, and we just didn't question it.
Right.
And Trunks' hair is blue because we forgot.
Well, that was to differentiate that it was a different timeline, future Trunks, I think.
Yeah. Which is
it was a good explanation. It was a good explanation, but his also real explanation was, it's been so long, I forgot.
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
I'm trying to think of what they could do, because they did the end of Z with Oob. We got the rematch fight that's non-canon, but still fantastic. If they're going to go backwards, maybe the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, where it's Kid Goku versus Tien. If they want to go forward, we could have the Tournament of Power. They could also do some what ifs with GT, since GT is still technically not canon.
But would they want to touch? Would they want to touch GT though?
I feel like they want to go to that.
They're not going to leave money unturned. Too many people love Super Saiyan 4 forms.
Everybody got them. I mean, people were excited for it in Fighters, even though you keep changing the voice actor for the kid people for some damn reason. Like Stephanie's right there and willing to take the job. The hell's wrong with y'all? But
Will, you know why? You know,
I don't.
You know what they could do? I just thought about this.
What's up?
What they could do, and I just thought about this, with as far out and as far along as it takes for DLC to come out, they could be putting Daima stuff in there, because Daima will be out by the time this will happen. So that's always a possibility.
Yeah, but it's a good thing to know.
If we have an arena fighter, I'm blanking on the name, like a regular fighter, and then an adventure game, and they want to just build upon all three, so they're covering the scope, that's fine, because at any point they could have just said, hey, Fighters is dead over here now, but they're still
adding on to Fighters, because Fighters is your standard. Yeah, Fighters is your standard 2D and a 3D environment, whereas your Budokai Tenkaichi is a 3D fighting environment. People still want to have that. They want to have that full fight feel of jumping from platform to space, down to space, and things of that nature, and trying to keep that fighting mechanics on their spot. So I think they're trying to keep both things together for both people, to keep them both happy. But I digress. But the last trailer we do got, guys, before we get to our comic book pulls, again, this is a game that I did not think was going to happen, just because most SNK games don't really have a long lifespan outside of Samurai Showdown and maybe King of Fighters, which again, King of Fighters is going to come out hopefully sometime this year. But Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves did actually give their character list. Wait a minute. Wait, what do you put the finger up for? As he walks off.
My feet hurt. My feet hurt. I'm trying.
I was like,
I got this in New York.
Oh, you got the ambo. Oh, you get the Terry Bogard ambo. Nice.
I mean, I was in New York City. I was like,
you were in Midtown.
This was in the New York City.
There's a Nintendo store up there, right?
Hang on. Where'd you find it, Joe?
Sorry.
Yeah, this was in the New York City Nintendo store, because I sat there and I was getting ready to leave. It was like, I'm in New York. This is what Southtown was based on. If anyone's going to have him, it's them. So I went there because, this second market is like $70. So because it's Terry Bogard. So I went there and got it. It was like $15.99. So I got one for me and I got one for my sister, because we both grew up playing Fatal Fury Wild Ambition on PlayStation 1. Jane, by the way, is terrifying with that little wrestling girl.
Lord. But with that being said, guys, here's the trailer for City of the, I almost want to say Call of the Wolves. It's called City of the Wolves. Although Call of the Wolves would have been a nice trailer. But anyway, here we are.
Are you okay?
Gonna take you for a ride. Try to keep up, all right?
Hey, come on!
This is the path I've chosen.
I will win this match for my fans!
Aha! A fine specimen from my research.
Got you! Take this. Here go!
If you're not unbreakable, you must have a weak point.
This is for you, Terry.
Let's rock! Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
All right, so that was the trailer, guys, for Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. As you can see, coming out early next year. Still waiting on Killer Instinct. I love the fact that I'm seeing other fighting games. Don't get me wrong, Mortal Kombat 1 is great. Street Fighter 6 is great. But still, I have to ask this question. Where the frack is Killer Instinct? I'm looking at you, Iron Galaxy. You got... No, go ahead, Joe. What you gonna say?
I can answer your question very easily. You let Microsoft get it.
Phil wants one. Phil Spencer literally wants another Killer Instinct. He has sat there and said, "I would love to have another Killer Instinct." Okay, Iron Galaxy, the ball's in your court.
If he really wanted one, he would have had them make it.
Well, he also would have gave us a better Halo. So, yeah.
Did he though? Because I'm also sure he really wants a Halo series, and look how well that's going.
We don't talk about the Halo. We don't
Yeah,
talk about that Halo. We don't talk about that Halo series.
City of the Wolves. City of the Wolves. What can I say about that? So, Preacher is actually a character from the original sequel from Guerrilla Mark of the Wolves that got canceled. She is Joe Higashi's student.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see some other things. We get to see Rock using a geyser move. So that means he has a move from both dads.
Yeah.
I'm actually really hyped about that. There's already your big time video game streamers and YouTubers have already gotten hands-on with it.
Of course.
They are saying wonderful things about this game. I cannot wait. I am a huge SNK fanboy. You will not find anybody stronger outside of Maximilian, dude. I
That's
cannot
true.
wait.
He has been praising it. But Safari, I know you usually follow fighting games, sir. Does this make you want to pick it up and play it?
Yeah, and I don't really play a lot of fighting games. I do like watching tournaments, and I think the Evo lineup just got dropped, so people are raging about that right now. I don't know who all got left out. I know some people are pissed.
No,
Wait,
some
what
players
changed?
got some players got left out.
I think some
Players
games
got left out.
Yeah,
that's what it
players
was.
got-
Fighters got left out this year, and some people were pissed.
Yeah,
but I think fighters and
Oh,
maybe
right.
Smash,
Fighters got swapped out for Third Strike.
yeah,
that's what it was. And then
Yeah.
I think Smash is not in this year, isn't it?
No, Smash is not in this year.
Smash hasn't been in
You
for
know
a
what?
while, but that's because of Nintendo.
I would say, the way Nintendo's been acting lately, I don't blame it. Like, even with
Hang on. While y'all talking, keep going. I'm gonna go straight to Evo site. Keep going.
Okay, but yeah, I don't play a lot of fighting games because I'm good at beating up bots. I'm not good with competitive play. But I like watching the tournament. So I'm glad to see 2023 and 2024 should be marked as just a era for fighters and a good time they're at. Like, everybody's saying Mortal Kombat 1 is dead, but it's still got an active community. Yes, there are a lot more people in Street Fighter and Tekken right now, but still.
Okay, so yeah, so Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Under Night and Birth, Mortal Kombat 1, Guilty Gear Strive, King of Fighters 15, and Street Fighter Third Strike 3. So that's your lineup. So Smash is not included. That's gonna be interesting.
Smash wasn't there last year, I don't think either.
Nope. That last year was a controversy. What happened with one of the founders, so that kind of killed that whole thing. But
I remember lightly hearing about that.
Halo.
Also, Sony now owns Evo. That's a major factor. But also remember, Nintendo does not want Smash to be a competitive fighting game. They have said that repeatedly.
Which is weird, but
okay, we tell Uno every month, you don't know how to play the game right. Hush. We'll do the rest. Just make the game. We'll tell you how to play.
You can draw two on top of a draw two. It's been done. I don't know why that's not a thing now. Uno tries to point out, but no. Kira, what do you think? I know because I know your gameplay is not as vast as ours, but looking at some of the rules,
Okay, so it's not that I'm not interested, it's that I'm very competitive, which you've experienced.
we know that.
I'm not supposed to play fighter games, as for my mother and therapist, but I really do like that one. It looks very interesting. It looks like the graphics are going to be smooth. I would say I'm more interested in that than I am in Mortal Kombat 1. And I haven't played Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay.
If that means anything.
No, because, it depends. Like I said, this is the reason why I keep saying that there should be so many fighting games out there because there's a variety of how you want to play. I mean, Street Fighter has its own way. Mortal Kombat has its own way. Soul Calibur, when it was out, had its own way. Killer Instinct had its own way. Every fighting game doesn't always go the same. Even Marvel vs. Capcom had its own flow to it. So you're not wrong in the fact of if you're not liking Mortal Kombat 1, you might be a Street Fighter type. You might be an SNK type. You might be a Smash type. It just depends on, what comes naturally to you. Although Smash is like the Uno of video games because it does test relationships, friendships, and situationships because Smash is brutal. But anyway, but overall, that's really all that we have. Joe, do we get any other news before we move on to comics, or are we good? Because I don't remember.
I thought there was something else. It'll come to me when reviewing comics, probably midway through.
Works for me. What are you gonna say, Kira? Because you got
I wanted
something.
to say one thing. I cannot wait for y'all to experience Powerless Storm. Powerless Storm is a bad bitch. That's all I want to say. That's it.
Yes,
That's all.
because Yes, because well, I'm gonna let Carrie explain that a little bit later. The reason why she's excited and where you can find why she's excited. But I'm gonna wait for later because I want her to explain that. But anyway, as we get to comics, guys, to let you know that first and foremost, we do always want to shout out to Rick's Comic City. Rick's Comic City, of course, in Nashville. If you are in the Nashville, Middle Tennessee area, definitely check them out. They do have locations in Nashville and Clarksville that have all your comic book needs. I am talking comic books, pull lists, trade covers, animes, mangas, collector's items. You have it. They need it. You would love to buy it from them. They would love it for you to buy it from them. But definitely check them out. Let them know us here at GB sent you. It doesn't get you any discounts, but if you go in their stores, go on their TVs, you see me and Joe's handsome mugs on there for the world to see. They show us love, but we show them love. And again, check them out. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, you do have local comic book stores. You have local libraries in your area. Me and Joe and others cannot stress this enough. Support them because, again, I understand Barnes & Noble. I understand Amazon. I understand Comixology. I understand every area where you can get comics. But there's just something about going into your local comic book store and actually having the experience of finding a comic or pulling your pull list or finding amiibos or finding figurines or finding movie posters. Again, that's an experience that just simply cannot be duplicated. And kids, we and Joe and us here at Get Bit Podcast say this all the time. Read the banned books. You're not going to understand this right now, but there are people out there that would rather put those books somewhere you can't find them. And me and Joe believe that that shouldn't happen because, again, libraries are there for learning, not just for learning, for experiences, for things a bit, because there's just more there than just comic books. There's fiction books, nonfiction books, biographies, things of that nature, not just comics and anime. And as Joe is holding that very famous card that I have myself, read the banned books, kids, because there is something there they don't want you to know, but you should know, and open up experiences. Nothing good or bad. It's just letting you know that there are other things out there than just what's in front of you. So support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries, read the banned books, kids. You'll thank us later. I promise you'll thank us later. But with that being said, I do see Joe does have the comic book lineup, sir. So what do you got?
First up, we got Green Lantern #9. This is written by Jeremy Adams with art by Zermanico and colors by Romulo Feraldo Jr. Basically, Hal gets a ring that lets him get into space, and he's fighting the Federation Lanterns, which, for whatever reason, have the ability to swap ring colors on the fly to fight as they want, so they can have like Green Lantern powers, Red Lantern powers, Yellow Lantern powers, whatever they feel like. Book's fine. This isn't me doing the usual hate on Hal Jordan thing. It's just the book's fine. The whole crux of it is Hal gets a normal power ring and goes into space and starts fighting people, and then runs into the newest Lantern, Sojourn Mullins, which is one of my favorite lanterns.
I
mean, that's where there's not much to this book other than Hal gets a. Huh?
Well, that and the fact that there is a contingency on Earth for Green Lanterns, which I thought was like, really? The fact that the Guardians chose Earth for that little backup plan? Which again, I don't want to spoil it because this is a new issue that came out. But understand that the Guardians did install something on Earth as a plan B, and the fact that they chose humans seems illogical until you read their reasoning for it, which again, it's like, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, overall, it's a good issue. The fact that he is now again going too old to see what's going on with Lanterns.
The problem, well, I mean, the problem is Hal's the only one on Earth outside of John. Everyone else is in space. So like, they're saying, hey, here's this plan B. It's like, Plan B doesn't work because only 2 of your lanterns are stuck on Earth.
Which he did point out.
And I'm fairly certain John's not bound by this either.
Well, technically he's still by Emerald Knight status, so I'd say no. If he's still considered the Emerald Knight. But
yeah, I mean, he's not even bound by this, like, you're stuck on Earth gag order by the Federation. I think John can go out whenever he wants. He just, like, can't because of family circumstances.
Right. But no, it's an interesting issue. It's an interesting caveat that they put that out there. But
also,
again, not so,
Jessica Cruz.
say it one more time.
Yeah, no, me and you were being like super delayed.
Yeah, so I'll say it one more time.
The trial of Jessica Cruz, I enjoyed a little bit more.
Gotcha. Okay, but no, I enjoyed it as well.
I actually enjoyed the backup story more than I did the main story.
Oh, the fact that she's playing double agent.
Nightwing, number 112. This is written by Tom Taylor with art by I can't remember, something Basari. Like, credits are on the final page of the book, guys, so we can't post that because it's spoilers. This just continues the fake Heartless storyline. So, good book, great art. I'm going to really bum when Tom Taylor leaves this book, and I'm probably going to cancel the book after Tom Taylor leaves this book. I just want a good Nightwing book.
Oh, come on. You got to give it another. You have to give it another shot. I mean, it's not as bad as Spider-Man.
I do like this art style.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends on who the writer is.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not, well, let me leave that alone. I'm not gonna say that. But go ahead, Joe. I know we're kind of running slightly delayed here, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yep. Next we got Wonder Woman number 7, written by Tom King with art by Gillian March and colors by R.F. Peranto. This takes place right before issue 5. This is basically Wonder Woman and Superman go to the biggest mall in the galaxy to shop for a birthday present for Batman, and just actual shenanigans ensue. Like, there's not a lot of superheroing. It's just two friends chilling at the biggest mall in the galaxy. It was a nice filler issue.
Only for Batman to give up his gift. Batman still being petty. He's like, okay, that's nice. I'm not gonna need.
Well, half his gift.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he did keep the important part. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. Oh wow, we are seriously delayed. Okay.
I think we're all just in a stalemate right now is what's happening.
Moving on over, we got we are like
yeah, it's starting to get good. Keep going, Joe. You got it. Keep going.
We got Web of Spider-Man number 1. This is just a book that tells you, hey, here's what all the Spider-Man stories are coming out for this year. So Amazing Spider-Man Part 1, no one cares about because it's Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. Moving on over, the stuff we do care about is Miles Morales Spider-Man with Cody Ziegler. He's going to be continuing dealing with the Blood Hunt stuff and the anti-mass task force that has now gone rogue. Amazing Spider-Woman continuing to trying to look for her now aged up son and cure him of that, or at least reconnect with him now that he's older. Amazing Spider-Man Part 2. Still don't care because it's Zeb Wells and John, but it's got Ed McGuinness, and I think that's going to be dealing with the return of Green Goblin. Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider, not bad. Sets up her next big book because Gwen's only getting miniseries books, but she will be slowly getting a ongoing because she's going to be punted into the main universe for whatever weird reason. I don't know why. Chasm is finally detailing how his new summer book, where he teams up with Kane, this shows him breaking out of the Limbo Embassy and goes on the run. Spectacular Spider-Man by Greg Weisman and Joey Vasquez. That's the book you want to read if you want to read about Peter Parker. This we've already covered before. The book is fantastic. Please go read that. Kane is taking on Vernon and one of the Eternals. It's just good to have Kane back, the other Scarlet Spider. We'll be seeing him dealing with Ben in the future. And then Spider Society, I guess it's another one of those Edge of the Spider-Verse books they keep putting out continuously. All in all, this book's not bad. It gives you a good heads up on what's to come. Lets you make your choice in what Spider book you want to read. For those of us that have been listening to this podcast, we know the one not to read is the actual main Spider-Man book.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
Okay.
What Joe is not saying, if you haven't seen the artwork for Spider-Man, for this run, and if you're a fan of Roblox, you might find the artwork great. The rest of us will probably be questioning your perception. That's all we're going to say.
I still can't tell if She-Hulk in this book has scales, arm hair on her shoulders, or that's muscle.
It might be all the above.
Yes.
It might be all the above.
Might be all the above.
It's still funny.
Also, and guys, we do not do this to hate on the book, but generally the Spider-Man book has not been bad. It still continues to sell very well because it is a Spider-Man book. We are just eagerly awaiting for Zeb Wells to wrap it up. I honest to God believe once he finishes this Green Goblin arc that's coming, because it is happening, that's already been leaked and already in the things. Hopefully after he wraps up his Goblin story, we'll get a new writer. I do not know that to be the case, but I certainly hope so.
Hopefully at least a new artist that can draw shapes.
Because the writer is... Huh?
Uh-oh. You broke up. Say it one more time, Joe. You broke up.
I'm reading Mr. Final Max's thing. That's not entirely true because he keeps saying he'll never use Ben Reilly, and he keeps using Ben Reilly. Moving on over, we got Invincible Iron Man. This is written by Gary. Yeah. Invincible Iron Man number 16. This is written by Jerry Duggan with art by Chris Lee. This continues the Fall of X storyline. All this is Tony fighting a whole bunch of Stark Sentinels. This was not that great an issue, in my opinion, because not a lot happens. It's just Stark using a giant robot to beat lesser giant robots most of the issue. That's all it really was.
Yeah, until he gets, that's pretty much it, but
yeah, that was like so anticlimactic to make your super robot's weakness the most obvious place in the world. That's kind of what killed that for me in this book. I was waiting for a twist.
Fair point. That is a fair point to that one. I'll give you that.
Moving on over, we have X-Men Forever number 1. This is a one-shot by Karen Gillian and art by Luca Mariska and colors by Federico Blee. This is the continuation of Immortal X-Men that also... Wait for this to reboot. There we go. I rebooted again. This continues and tells you how Mother Righteous came to be in the Rise of Powers of X that's going on currently.
Yeah.
Hey, we're making it. We got bots.
Yeah.
We're talking about mutants, and already the AI comes for us.
See, you talked them up. So you brought in mutants to talk them up.
It was only a matter of time for the Sentinels came for us. So yeah, this just tells you This tells you how Mother Righteous fell in with Xavier. This finally confirms who the actual Dominion is. It tells us everything, and also something about Jean the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting one shot. I will give it that. up and a little bit. There we go.
Next up, we got Spider-Woman 5. Spider-Woman teams up with Spider-Boy. Ooh. And fights an even lamer villain in Speedball. That's the issue. I hate this issue. I do not mind this issue because this furthers Jessica's story, but again, they are really pushing the Spider-Boy thing. And I don't know why. He's one of those characters that just like insists on himself, and I'm not here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they're taking on one of the lamest villains from the Spider-Man video game ever.
Plus, it's Spider-Boy. No one is excited about Spider-Boy. Oh, okay.
Oh, goody. I get to go ban somebody on my YouTube site. Hooray.
Wait, is that why my comments show up like multiple times because it's going once per stream on each person's channel?
Ding, ding. Yep.
I've been so confused about that for the longest.
Probably, because I was like, as I was trying to find who it was, I'm like, oops, not on any of the streams I got. So,
yeah, I'm realizing little StreamYard just merges everything in the comments that they can't see it, but we look at it different. Backstage discussion, but yeah, that's
it is no. This issue of Spider-Woman, I agree with Joe. It was. I mean, I don't like Spider-Boy anyway. Spider-Boy is kind of a useless character. And at the same time, this whole issue is basically just a mother-son kind of thing, which is weird. But it didn't work for me. I'm agreeing with Joe.
Moving on over, we got Cobra Commander number 3, written by Josh Williamson, art by Andrea Molina, and also colors by Annalise Leone. God, this was such a good issue, and just the sheer brutality in this book is just hilariously fun. Like, they have no problem just beating the Dreadnoughts being just so mean to each other for no reason.
Although, no way I can tell.
Also,
this
still
issue
my head canon. Ripper is still Ripple.
Yeah. Although I was just there and said that the title I'm going to give this issue for Cobra Commander, it's all fun and games till you hear a banjo. That's about the best way I can put the issue of this one. It's all fun and games till you hear a banjo. For all those that don't know, it's a Deliverance line. That's all I'm going to say.
Also, I didn't realize Zartan had a little brother. Was he actually in the cartoon?
Good question. I don't know.
I'll be right back.
I
Guys.
remember
I'm so sorry.
Zandra.
No, you're good, Kira.
I remember
don't
Zarana,
remember.
but I don't remember Xandar at all.
I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't know.
Was he in that season where Cobra Commander was wearing the scuba stuff?
Yeah. But I don't remember if Xandar was ever in it, though. That's going to bug me for a while because I'm not sure whether or not he is in it. He was in it. That might just be a write-in for the comic, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I'm down for it either way, but, you know.
But still, can't complain.
This book was fantastic. I loved it so much. And then book of the night, Transformers number 6, written by Daniel Warren Johnson with art by Daniel Warren Johnson and colors by Mark Spicer. This is the big finale for this arc. Next arc, Daniel Warren Johnson will strictly be writing. We will have another artist. I don't remember who it is, but he is equally good as Daniel Warren Johnson. The only drawback is we will probably get less professional wrestling moves.
Yeah.
This one alone had the camel clutch, missile drop kick, and I believe the sharpshooter, but I may be misremembering the sharpshooter. No, it was the Alabama Slam.
It was the Alabama Slam, so he was right. And the fact
also. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was gonna sit there and say just go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. This delay is killing us. Go ahead.
The chat we can use to mitigate the delay, I think.
We might have to. Go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say they could not get licensing music in this game. They could not get licensing permission in this. So rather than you got the touch, it literally just says you know the song.
Yeah.
God bless onomatopoeias.
Oh, good Lord. But
You
no,
need
it was
licensing just to say lyrics?
probably now it's getting that bad. It's getting that, dude. You do realize in our group, we just covered that. What was it? One group is sitting there saying that you can now service our music for like so many months, for so much a month.
I like
so
how
you don't get
I like
banned
how
on
they
stream.
tried it and everyone was just like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And it wiped from my timeline that day.
I'm just surprised it was out there. Like, hey, you don't want to get banned anymore? Pay us $24 a month. What are you, Columbia House? Just saying. But no, this was a good issue. I did like that. I don't want to spoil the ending just because it is reminiscent of the movie to how they did this, but I'm not gonna say any more than that.
The only thing that was super confusing about this book was the whole thing with Sparkplug, the dad, and Optimus Prime doing the whole stuff. That was like really left field.
I think they want to go. I think they want to go something different when it comes to this. When it comes to the thing of leadership. That's what makes me think. It makes me think they're wanting to do something different with that. But I wasn't against it just because it's left field. But I'm gonna wait to see how it pans out.
It made I wasn't against it, but it just made no sense that he was like, "Oh, I know exactly what to do." It's like, how?
That is a good question, though. It's like you know what to do, and yet
Like you
somehow
literally met
you
Optimus Prime earlier that day.
That's like a Madam Web moment. It's like you're gonna Madam Web yourself to the end of the show. Like, wait a minute, how the hell? But no, but it was still. I mean, overall, it's still a good issue to read.
Also, I love seeing Starscream put Cliff Jumper in a Cobra Clutch.
That was still funny.
Or no, not a Cobra Clutch.
No, you talking about when he put him in a leg lock when he did the no crap. They got me rethinking it.
No, where he's doing the Iron Sheik move on him.
Oh, that is the camel clutch. That's what he called it. I mean, he did the same thing Slaughter did. So he did a camel clutch.
Camel clutch. I said Cobra Clutch.
Yeah.
I said Cobra Clutch. It was the camel clutch.
Ah.
Yeah, I love to see Starscream put him in the camel, putting Cliff Jumper in the camel clutch. That just made me laugh.
Nice. Still.
But this was such a good issue. I gotta find out who.
I'm just off the fact that you said you know the song. Just you can't say you got the touch without having to pay royalties now. That's interesting and yet weird at the same time. but no, good issue though. Will, anything else you got, Joe?
No, that was it.
Okay, well, delays aside,
Corona will be doing the art.
Wait a minute, say it one more time.
It says George Corona will be the new artist going forward for this arc. Apparently, different arcs will have different artists, but Danny Ward Johnson will be the principal writer.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you, Joe, for those pulls. Thank you, everybody, because we did have a little bit of delays, but when you mention Decepticons, what do you expect? We're gonna get the Decepticon of all time, Zuckerberg.
It was the Ben Shapiro joke. That's what did it to us.
We said one Ben Shapiro joke, and they came looking for us. God, what we would say about Candace Owens. Anyway, as we wrap this up, guys, I do want to say thank you, everybody that liked, that watched, that let people know we're live. I certainly appreciate that. And some shameless plugging as always. And because she's here and I love doing this to her, Laney, you go first.
Oh, I am not Laney.
Wrong girl.
I'm sorry. I said Laney. I was like, she's not paying
You sure did.
You swapped the name about 4 times today by my count.
I apologize. Kira
lucky I love her.
Kira at Lady Mandalore at Room Full of Blurs. Would you please love to tell people about yourself?
I would, thank you. You can find me on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I control my little pocket of the universe that is the internet at Roomful of Blurs. Where currently I am on a little bit of a hiatus, but I will be returning on April 7th to finish out the arc that is Storm, and we're going to be talking about the last issue of X-Men Red, and maybe getting into a little bit of the goings-ons or arcs that have appeared in X-men'97 as well. Haven't really finished figuring that all out. You can also catch me on Blur's Eye View. You can catch me on these internets. I am on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok. I do voice acting. I am currently finishing some of my voice work for Talk Story to Me. You can find them on Lord Jesus, everywhere, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, things of that nature. I like to make funny voices and make people laugh. So please, by all means, follow me on all of those things, anywhere and everywhere at any point in time. Yay.
with the British yay behind it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Tafari, sir, what about yourself?
Hi, you can officially find me here under this name on all platforms on the days that you don't get booted out of all your social media because Meta is now the ghetto, apparently. I usually try to post on Mondays because Mondays are terrible, and I try to make them suck a little bit less. So I think I've just had too much free time because I've been posting almost like every day this month. So if you follow me, you're overloaded. I'm sorry, I think. But I try to post a skit at least every 2 to 3 weeks. Current one is What If the Avatar Was a Twin? So feel free to go and check that out. I also do the editing for Blur's Eye View. So we do clips Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I try to keep our community tab up to date. If you go to our homepage on the channel, there's links to all of our accounts there. So you can find my stuff, Kira's stuff, both shows that Will works on. And after this, I was going to go fight for the Republic, but apparently that's been dismantled. So to democracy we go.
Democracy. Although Helldivers is everything else. Joe, you want to let people know what you're up to, sir, since you're back in the state, back in Tennessee, but still doing your thing?
I mean, I can fight for democracy with Tafari since I also play Helldivers too. Kira, are you not going to cover Resurrection of Magneto since that's the next step in Storm's arc?
She was outvoted for the last Ronin.
Yeah.
Okay, so my whole shtick is basically getting people that have not been into comics back into them or just into them in general. So I'm just picking characters or particular arcs to get people interested in more comics. So at some point, I'm very certain I will do that arc, but for right now, it's about getting people join the fold. One of us.
Gotcha. I'm about to do that next week because I'm about to give one of my friend's little family members my entire completed box.
Nice.
How old is he?
They are 17, 18, give or take. Maybe just turning 20. They're a big time cosplayer and they love comics. So it's like, do you want all these? This is my completed box. They're like, do you not want them? It's like, no, they're completed. I either have them in trade or I've read them and they can move on to the next household that needs them.
Nice.
All right.
So where you can find me and what I am doing, Show Guy Joe on most things, or Joe Italian last name, either one works. Trying to get some recommendation on if they want me to do a watch and review, since I refuse to react as I'm an emotionless being. If they want me to do Turbo Ranger on top of Boonger watch and reviews. That way I can watch the original 89 series that started all this Power Ranger car stuff. Yes, Show Guy Joe on YouTube.
Yeah, Tafari did have a point. Tafari did have a point. That repeated like 3 times.
I'm always deleting them because I'm like, oh, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a moderator on the Blurred side. I didn't realize it was going to everyone else's like personal streams from their Gmail accounts.
No, you're good. 3 times. Repeating it 3
add an
times.
A at the end of the show.
I'm trying. That's another thing you can't edit, and I know I put the A in there, but it got deleted with the damn space.
So I'm doing that. I'm kind of on a break from playing Tekken right now on stream because I'm playing Final Fantasy. I'm playing Helldivers, and there we go. Yay! Thank you.
So those are my two. I posted the game and everybody's like, join my squad. And I'm like, I am currently moving storage for Rebirth right now because I think I've missed either the game is just quietly being played or everyone was nice enough to not spoil it on my timeline. One of the two.
Oh, I'm only as far as Gongaga on Final Fantasy on Rebirth, so I'm not very far. I'm about 30 hours in.
I heard some people are getting to the mini games and just not moving on.
Oh no, those things are ridiculous crap, especially the Chocobo races. So yeah, you can find me on those places. Work has me beaten down right now because I'm adjusting to my new schedule, and also I'm like out almost every theater in Nashville for this week and next week because of Ghostbusters, and there's an anime convention. And lunch with friends. I'm very tired.
Mood.
But I keep getting new Ranger things. Like every time we come on, there's like a new thing over here.
He says he's unsupervised. He says.
This is true. I'm unsupervised.
Oh, Lord. With that being said, I guess I'll be up. So before I get to myself, some shameless plugging as I usually do. Shout out to my boy Vaughn at Big VZA. Where you can usually find him on social media for Beats, Things, That Nature. Definitely check him out on his YouTube page at Big VZA. As for myself, guys, you can usually find me, Black_Spartan615 on the socials as I do reviews on everything. Including gym stuff because I do try to keep in shape, as well as reviews on wrestling with Blurred's Eye View, which again, you can check us out once we do return from our vacation, break, hiatus, however you want to call it. Yeah. We'll be back in April, so definitely check us out there. Again, guys, also the link at the bottom, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger for you guys to see. If you copy and paste that link into your browser, it'll take you to our YouTube page, our Facebook YouTube page, where you can basically see all of our shows. How the Frack We Got Here, Get Bit Podcast, How the Frack We Got Off Limits Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. Just like PBS, guys, we cannot do this without you. Simply do not like and walk off. Like, tell people, share it. We love the fact that you guys tell us that you love the show, and we appreciate it. But at the same time, we cannot grow without your support. So please do more than just like and walk off. Share it, support it. I mean, you don't got to do monetary donations. We'll appreciate it, but sharing is free. Telling people about it is free.
Yourself.
Huh?
Don't limit yourself. Take the money.
I'm just saying we're not asking for monetary funding. Why not I just turn to Colonel Sanders? Anyway, we're not asking for monetary funding. We are simply just saying, guys, share all the love. We try to do the same thing back. As you see, it's not just us. It's Lenient Geek by Heart. It's Kira at Roomful of Blurs, Safari at Safari TV, Joe at Show a Guy Joe. I can keep going down the round. The man on the wall who is probably watching this and is looking at his Black Panther comic and going, son of a bitch. I am talking about Chris Fury at Blurred's Eye View, which I can't wait to get his opinion on Black Panther once he reads it. I'm also talking about our other friend Navy at Navy Montel at Blurredicon. Blurredicon Speaks. I am also talking about our new people, which I need to be including them as well. Which I need to get better about.
Adventure Time VR and whoop-de freaking do.
Thank you. I need to get better about that.
I think I have everyone added to the Blurred's Eye homepage. So if you go there, you can find us.
Thank you. Definitely. Thank you guys for that because I was I'm failing miserably.
You're not terrible. You just knew.
Damn,
we are one person short of a full Straw Hat crew. It's understandable.
Yeah, we're just missing one person.
That's really it. Chopper?
I mean, if you become the 10th, you technically be Jinbei, so you're good.
Yeah, I mean,
Ray, Fishman Karate, go.
Oh God! The last thing I'm gonna point out, aside from myself, guys, we do me, Tafari, Kira, and others are part of an initiative called Blur Station. If you don't know what Blur Station is, guys, You ever wanted a place that was like Tubi but didn't screw you over because they just basically wanted your content to fill their pockets, a la Fox and a la Fox News? Well, Blur Station is the spot for you. Why? Because it is for us and by us. And if you've been following all of our social media pages, we have announced a lot of great things that have happened. We have announced partnerships with Michael Jai White, his wife, Miss Jillian White, Orlando Jones. Again, Mr. Anansi himself are all coming to join Blur Station. And as you may notice, it's the move, it's the wave. It has television shows, it has mangas, it has cartoons, it has everything that we can have except you. So therefore, if you want to, we hope that you do, go to blurstation.com. You can definitely go to the join in spot. If you do the join in, we do ask that after you do the join now that you do go to the Blur's Eye View Affinity membership and basically select anybody there, any member there. We do not care. It helps the cause. So once you do that, you'll see it's $10.99. Yes, to actually watch and view Blur Station is $10.99. You can still stream and get food. That's freaking important in my life. And also with the Affinity membership, guys, after 36 months, you have the ability to own a piece of Blur Station. I mean, a piece. Aside from trying to go through Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu, whether you have to go through E-Trade or Fidelity and pay an assload amount of money for 1 or 2 shares, you can actually do the same thing here a lot easier, just paying $10.99 for 36 months. Seems like a better deal to me. Aside from that, guys, like we said before, this is all about sharing. If you are a content creator and you want to learn how you become a part of Blur Station, you have to join it first. And then therefore you'll be able to reach out to those in the FAQ section and be able to join Blur Station. The beauty about Blur Station is, guys, you get to keep your content. They just want a piece of distribution. I don't know about you. Sounds a lot better than what you're getting over at Tubi. Because again, Tubi was the cricket of networks. It is now well over $200 million, all because of Black creators. If you haven't figured it out, guys, Black content creators historically have been setting up networks for billions of dollars for decades. Imagine what you could do with Blur Station. That's all we're saying. So with that being said, guys, we do thank you all for watching. We will definitely be back here, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel next week. Guys, any last words for we call tonight?
Fuck the algorithm.
As always. As always, F the algorithm. F the algorithm indeed. Well, with that being said, guys, last thing we usually say about Get Bit, it's all about fandoms. We know them, we love them, we share them, we support them, we debate them, all in good fun, because we want people to join in the fact that these things are fun, these things are welcoming, they open up worlds, they open up experiences. We do not want to be toxic gatekeepers or simply say because someone's taste is different than ours that we want to shield them or put them down. Everybody is different. The only thing we do ask is that you embrace them, that you love them, that you share them with others. And above all else, don't be a dick. That being said, guys, we're going to call it a night. I've been Will. That's been Joe. That's been Kira. That's been Kira. This has been Safari. I'm out of words. We're out of here.
For democracy.